Hello and welcome to another episode of Good Brews, Bad Views. I'm your host, Max, and as always, co-hosted with Ryan.
Hi.
And James.
Hi.
So for this, our 17th episode, I believe, we are hitting up our first of hopefully, maybe many, Nic Cage movies.
Hopefully is not the word I was thinking of. You can go right ahead with your bad self.
Well, probably many is probably what I meant to say.
Thank you, Nic Cage.
Yes, thank you, Nic Cage. But, yeah, kind of strange how we have gone this far without watching a Nic Cage movie.
Without jumping down the Nic Cage rabbit hole.
It is a deep and wide hole.
It is a deep, wide hole full of oddly mustachioed things.
Yeah. But we'll be watching The Trust, which is actually a 2016 direct-to-video film co-starring one Elijah Wood of Lord of the Rings and Flipper fame. So this movie is freely available for streaming on Netflix. So if you are watching along with us, we have 12 seconds into the video. Highland Film Group has just appeared on the screen. So hit play now.
Entree. Is this the same Sabin films from Power Rangers?
I meant to check that because I'm like, that's the...
Yeah, that's interesting.
I actually really do enjoy the music in this movie.
Yes, I do as well. I'm told that's the biggest
Same.
Ferris wheel in the world.
Yeah, it is. And in typical Vegas fashion, something that should be amazing is put right next to a parking lot.
Right.
Seems very Vegas.
Very Vegas.
I heard recently that the Oakland Raiders are moving to Vegas. So I imagine there will be many parking lots around that as well.
Yeah.
I didn't know if he was helping himself out or not at the beginning here. I wasn't sure, but I mean, that gets cleared up in a moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is what, scene number 2?
GBBV sex scene number 2.
Yeah.
Right.
This one's less rapey.
Yes.
Right. True story. I wonder if he's just like, is it doing the Austin Powers right now? Is he just like moly?
I know. I think he's just so like detached from life.
He had an interesting character. I mean,
As we'll learn, like I feel like Elijah Wood and Nic Cage were told they were in two different movies. Because Nic Cage is like very much standard Nic Cage. It's almost like comedic when he's on screen. But Elijah Wood, it's so like bleak.
Yeah.
And not in like the bleak Fargo kind of way, which the first 15, 20 minutes of this movie kind of makes you feel like that's the tone it's going for before it takes a drastic turn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought this was going to be a lot
Spoilers.
more fun of a movie.
right.
Yeah.
And
Especially from the,
it's not.
From the trailer and the first 20 minutes, you're like, oh, it's, cop heisty.
All right. And I actually, the first time I watched this, I missed when Elijah Wood was putting down the money on the counter there.
Oh, no. I got that.
For the services he just received. Services rendered, as it were. I'll take that back. Thank you. I know, it's whatever. Rav dog.
I'm with you, James. I love this movie. I love this movie's soundtrack or the use of music.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Which is a good juxtaposition from our previous viewing.
Yeah, no kidding.
Oh, Suicide Squad.
I'm still washing that off. And Max, you kind of talked about before I had seen this movie for the first time. There is some really good camera work actually in this. Some longer shots, some good framing, good color choices. I agree.
If you notice right there, Nic Cage does lose control of the car for about a half second. Like his hands, you can tell he didn't realize what he was supposed to be doing.
How do I drive this Grand Marquis?
Like this
is
a good
a boat of a car,
right? This is a good continuous shot for the intros here. It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot going on, a lot of people.
We want to do it like True Detective.
I gotta watch that show. Yeah, Bert. That's probably a common reaction to most Berts.
Yep.
That are not of the Jim Henson variety.
Mm-hmm. Co-starring Nicolas Cage's mustache.
Yeah, right. feel like that brunette chick has been in other stuff too. She's familiar to me, which is something I say pretty much every podcast.
Yep.
And I'm saying that just because you told me to.
Got all those burner phones.
Mm.
Very, very courteous.
Yeah.
Within the CSI.
If I was working with Elijah Wood's character at this point, I probably would have maced him right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no, this is it. I'm losing my job over this. There are, and they don't happen until almost the end of the movie, but there are a few moments where Nic Cage's acting is fairly convincing.
Mm-hmm.
But this is not it right now.
Like, I expected Nic Cage to be like, I'm going to get that mobile DNA stuff.
Yeah.
She's... There's one in every closet.
I was gonna say, there's always Nazis in closets, right?
Right.
Yep.
Closet Nazis.
I do like that he's laughing right
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Bert got tagged.
Yep.
there. Yep. You got to trim that mustache there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Regulation. Your mustache is
Yeah.
not in regulation.
John Deere. You gave him a flyer? You're a shitty dad. I did like this, the framing. This is good.
Oh, yeah, I love how there's always something going on in the background in this movie. At least in this first act.
Yeah, I want to watch a whole movie of this.
Yeah. Like these layered shots.
Right.
Yeah.
So here we see the cop, the guys being tackled in the background.
And this is a great example. Also a good shot. No, fairly continuous here, but a good
Yeah.
example of where the tone is distinct and it's kind of light for a bit, and then it just evaporates in the latter part of the movie.
Like, if they would have kept this somewhat light through the whole thing as to how ridiculous this plot they come up with and everything was for, I'd be down with it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How does one become an auction person? Auctioneer?
No.
I think you have to be born in like
The
a
South?
location. No, you have to be born somewhere that doesn't have a population density over 100 per, probably
And-
square county.
And doesn't know about the existence of eBay?
Yes.
Right, I guess. I think just speaking quickly and clearly at that kind of speed is kind of rare, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm barely getting these words out right now, and I haven't even had any beer yet.
Yeah.
It's just Jack in the Box sprawling. He's all totally. Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I was not making a proposition for you. I also found this mirror.
Right.
As one can see, you put the cocaine on the mirror.
Boss, why is your mustache white?
Yeah.
Yeah, because they spend a lot of time on this. Like, it's going to be important later, and it's fucking not.
Yeah. But from this first 10 minutes we're in, if that, this feels very much like a Fargo kind of tone or movie, but just set in Vegas. It's got the police, tone,
the Joe Schmo interactions.
Yeah, the Joe Schmoes, the drugs.
And for some reason, he couldn't call you on your own fucking cell phone.
Like, I really wanted that to be a running joke through the whole
Yeah,
movie.
that would have
Captain
been
was
great.
just asking him to do
How about that John Deere?
the whole time.
Right. And how in the hell did they get Jerry Lewis into this movie? That blows my mind.
Well, Frodo's in it.
Yeah, but what's he been up to?
A lot of independent stuff.
Making
Indie
weird
stuff,
stuff with
yeah.
Max Landis.
But I mean, Jerry Lewis, man.
Yeah.
He's the disorderly orderly. He's the original Nutty Professor. I think I made a mistake being in a movie with you. Damn, he's like 86 here.
I completely missed that Jerry Lewis was even in that. I'm just like, oh, it's some old guy. Because I haven't seen Jerry Lewis as an old man. I've only seen him as a young, nutty professor man.
Newton Professor.
I like that he just tears him down with 2 sentences.
Right.
Mm-hmm. God, Dad.
He rips him to shreds.
Go.
Imagine that this is just a shot of Elijah Wood at home these days.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And who the hell has a house phone in 2016?
Oh, this guy.
That's not a very convincing cat poop either.
No, I didn't think so.
I like this backstory that he had a girlfriend or something, or...
Right. Well, he was at the very least engaged.
Yeah.
Did she maybe die? Which is why he has her stuff?
That's not the impression I get.
No.
It's possible, I mean, but I'm getting a separation kind of vibe.
Yeah. Given how, like, awful and terrible his character is, he probably is supposed to have given that back to her at some point and just keeps deciding not to.
And then using it to clean up cat poop.
Ignored for coffee.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Decaf.
Yeah.
That's what you get if you want decaf coffee.
I mean, come on. I worked in the service industry. I wouldn't serve someone with that kind of mustache, would you?
Nah.
Mm-mm. Nope.
Like a caterpillar.
Right. Just a creepy caterpillar. No, he said your face. He does a lot of... Nic Cage does a lot of mouth gesticulations in this movie.
Cage is a good mouth actor. I mean,
right.
I'm thinking of him in like what was it? Face Off, when he's like the priest at the beginning.
Oh,
right.
He's like, hallelujah. There's a lot of gapes. He's like, oh.
Well, gaping is kind of in his wheelhouse.
There's a great gape scene for him later, and
as I said, mouth actor.
Wow, yeah. I love the idea
things in the background.
Yep.
I was kind of hoping that was going to be another running joke, is that Elijah Wood's character was always going to have this like mild ADD throughout the movie and just constantly being distracted.
Like Elijah Wood's face in here. He's acting to the point where it's so good that it seems like Nic Cage just did this on the fly.
Right, yeah.
Kind of went
It's like,
with
what are you doing?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, straight up, Elijah Wood's fully convincing this entire movie.
Yeah.
Like, this is...
Also, Nic Cage ate the skin.
Have you ever eaten lemon skins? They're quite delicious. They're much better than lime skins, let me tell you that.
We're all going to go eat a bunch of fruit skins after this movie and figure this out.
Yeah.
This needs settling.
Speaking of consumption, what are we drinking today, guys?
We are having an Imperial Stout from Dark Horse. This is Plead the 5th.
Puns.
Yes.
Beer...
I thought long and hard about this. I was gonna go like maybe one of those like donut ales that they have. Like I think Shorts makes a donut beer, or something with diamonds or mustaches.
Right.
But
good prank, bro.
Yeah. Plead the 5th. Imperial Stout from Dark Horse Brewing out of Marshall, Michigan.
Right. And this is at a solid, 11%?
This is exactly 11%, which I did not notice until I picked this bottle up and inspected it closely.
Be a good show, guys.
Oof.
Yep. So
I'm liking it, though.
Yeah. Any
I'm
initial thoughts, Mr. Thorpe?
Yep.
Yeah, it's good. It is dark without actually being too heavy.
Yeah, especially for being an Imperial Stout.
Yeah.
Which I expected it to be much heavier. Like I had the Imperial Stout from, I think it was Badass or Stone. Stone for the very first episode. I had an Imperial Stout, which was much heavier. But this did not have a big head on it when I initially poured it, which I was kind of surprised at. And like you're saying, very light, despite being.
It reminds me of Final Absolution in that way. I mean, it's not a stout, but Final Absolution's like 13%, and it doesn't feel like you're drinking.
Yeah, well, that's a Belgian triple,
That's
right?
a Belgian triple.
Yeah.
But from back to the movie for a quick second, I'm getting a very Brad Pitt in Ocean's 11 from Elijah Wood at this
A
scene.
little bit, yeah.
Just like the
He isn't
toothpick.
eating something though.
Yeah, right.
True. He has a toothpick in his mouth though.
Yeah,
So.
Yeah.
Kinda.
But just from like
He is
his
masticating.
his shirt and his jacket and his sunglasses and his aloof. I'm an aloof cool guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Aloof Henderson. Yeah, so we actually experimented briefly with a stout last night. That milkshake stout, the red velvet from Rochester Mills.
Yeah, that was not good at all.
It was okay, but yeah, I wouldn't drink it again.
It smelled good.
It smelled delicious.
It smelled better
but
than it
tasted
tasted, for sure.
watery.
It was water, yeah.
Fairly
Didn't have
mediocre. Right.
In comparison to a different milkshake stout I also had the previous week, which was a blueberry pancake stout, which was very delicious.
Was that also Rochester Mills?
It was, and it is newly available in cans.
I'm gonna have to try that.
Huh.
I want to put that in my face.
Yeah, because I remember a friend of ours, Stacy, was looking for that in cans, and knowing that we were the beer people, was asking if it was available, and I'm like, I don't think so, but newly available in cans.
We and beer people.
So yes, Elijah Wood just found out that there's this
The guy who had
the perp is associated with a grocery store.
the perp a derp. I've never been to Vegas. I'd like to go.
I like how they show the legwork of how they find out where the vault is.
Yeah.
It's in, what's the word I'm looking for? It's an uncinematic, just sensible way to find these things out.
Yeah.
I like that the logic right there. He shows up on time to stock a bar, and he's like, nah, he's a drug dealer, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Let me just cop walk into this place.
Right.
I don't know. You've never been to Vegas, Ryan?
I want to go.
I am not either.
Oh, okay.
GBBV podcast Vegas trip. Anyone?
There you go.
Anyone? We're taking donations. If anyone's feeling generous, please
Yeah.
get in touch.
Should we set up a Patreon just so we can get you
Yeah.
fund a trip to Vegas? That reefer.
That reefer. I get a little confused by Nic Cage's secret assignment in a moment here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But fuck you, Jim. I feel like this is just Nicolas Cage. There's
Yep.
no acting here.
Yeah.
This is just him.
Just caging along.
Yep.
Right. Cue hot redheaded in the background with the baby carriage. I really wanted to just get a fake out in this shot and just have like a mouse walk through.
Yeah.
Like the tiny set. This guy always plays such a good creep.
Yeah, that is Ethan Suplee, who has
Right.
lost a ton of weight.
Yeah, he
Yes.
used to be a lot bigger.
Yep. You may recognize him from American History X, Butterfly Effect, or Friday Night Lights. Or
Yeah.
no, excuse me. We're the Titans.
Remember the Titans.
Remember the Titans, yeah.
It took me a while to remember where he was from when I was watching it. But
I want to say he was in Without a Paddle also, but I'm going to check that right now.
did you watch Without a Paddle?
Yeah, I watched it in the theater. With Matthew Lillard and Seth Green and some other dude.
Yeah.
That might be right for the show. We'd see. Dude, that's fucking mean, dude.
Yeah.
No.
But I mean, this sets up his character perfectly. I mean,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like when you find out he is a dirty cop,
Yeah.
I am not surprised at all.
Spoilers.
We've already ruined that the movie's going to take a tonal shift.
Yeah.
So,
we should set up something like Nickelodeon, and anytime we spoil something, not on purpose, you get slimed.
Yeah.
oh gosh.
But I don't think I want to deal with that cleanup in my house.
Yeah, we're on nice chairs here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's rude. Rude. Nic
Yeah.
Cage
Yeah.
walking through people, but good soundtrack usage.
Yep.
So what's the implication that he's just effectively been hired for every position the hotel has?
Yep.
Yep.
Go put towels down, bring people food, do the
I
laundry.
imagine there's a high turnover rate in Las Vegas. Or they're always looking for people. You
Yeah,
know?
probably.
There are shades of 3,000 Miles to Graceland a bit in this
Mm-hmm.
to me,
Okay.
which is a movie I don't remember much of, but
Yeah.
Pump the jams. Ah. He's more of a slam the jams.
This is a good shot here. I mean, you're not supposed to do that, right?
No.
Okay, he's not a fan of his job.
Yeah.
Although I don't see why you wouldn't do that. And this again is just Nic Cage.
Yeah,
right
Yeah,
there.
with like this, with the stage hands.
And it also looks like he's got a boner in this scene. Just saying.
It's the second time that really sells that scene.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, just one of the guys.
Yeah. I feel like Nic Cage's character really enjoys his undercover job.
Yes.
I did appreciate though that this is a less traditional version of exposition here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It is a nice montage.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And I like how it's instead of like, you can't hear what they're we can't hear what they're saying
Because we don't need to.
You don't need to, and even the subtitles, it just says inaudible dialogue, but
Yep.
you get the message across of what is going on. So there's some like good moments of this movie where stuff shines through.
I feel like this is Nic Cage's life right here, just sitting in a car looking creepy, just forever.
I think, like I said, the biggest thing to me is that this movie just goes somewhere that I didn't really want to go with it.
Yeah. Like once well, I think there's a definitive moment about when this movie turns.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's two. There's one for Nic Cage's character, and there's one for the movie in general.
Right.
Okay.
And I'll comment on that when we get there.
So Ethan Suplee, interestingly, he is going to be in the first episode of the Twin Peaks reboot.
I did see that he was going to be in that reboot, but I did not know what episode. And
Deepwater Horizon.
Really?
Which I confused for Deep Rising.
Yes, Deep Rising. And all references to Deep Rising are fully endorsed.
We should just do Deep Rising for another episode so we can just watch Deep Rising again.
We can, that is actually like one of our least listened to episodes at the time of this recording. So go listen to Deep Rising.
Yes. And then just go watch it. Just period.
Yep.
Yep, Butterfly Effect. Aha, yep, without a paddle. I'll be damned.
Only you.
Yeah. It has a rockin' 29 on Metacritic.
You're a hobbit.
I love that reaction.
Just Jesus.
All right, and with the closing of that door, or I guess the leaving of that shot, Jerry Lewis's character is completely outside the movie forever. Like he's never comes back.
Yep.
Which is sad because the two scenes he's in, he's been great in.
Right.
That laugh that he has right there cracked me up when I watched it the first time.
The humor that just creeps into this movie.
I imagine there was a quick flashback of Nic Cage as a bag boy, like scoping the place out.
Right.
So yes, the homeless person did take the photos.
Yes.
I got some extra money from my tips.
Yeah, he's just like, okay. Okay.
He's fighting the unemployment rate.
Right.
But I keep going back to that montage. There's like 5 movies of Cage worthiness within that little.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like I want to see the movie of Cage as a, maitre d'.
Right.
Yeah.
The Adventures of Nic Cage, the Launderer.
The Towel Boy.
Towelman.
Weird busboy who dances in chairs.
Some Nancy Drew shit. So is that the homeless dude's dick or is that Nic Cage's dick?
I'm pretty sure.
Whose
that's the
penis are we
guy.
looking at?
I feel like it'd be both, either or.
Maybe
this movie makes or breaks off of this scene.
I love this scene.
Yeah, it's really funny.
Yeah.
The immediacy of her response at the bribe. The look that he gets here.
Like, he's surprised by that.
Right.
But that was a scene from the trailer where you thought this movie was what this scene shows.
Yep. I like the stack of money that he gives her for $100 because that's clearly his tips. Yeah.
And again, another red herring for him being just a super involved cop and like, hey, we're using security footage to talk about a fucking restaurant.
Yeah.
Sandwich shop in Decatur.
Yeah.
I imagine cops actually do this.
Oh, right. Yeah, totally. They are people who love sandwiches.
Have you guys have had in-depth discussions about food like that? With the cheese spilling over the edge with your coworkers?
I don't know if I waxed that poetic about the state of the cheese ever, but
no.
I mean, I'll get into gushing about how good something tastes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like our local joint Jaws, rest in peace, man. Moved to Tennessee. Good luck, you guys.
Yeah.
You will be missed.
Shout out for Jaws.
All about them local businesses here at GBBV.
Yeah, I do enjoy the subtle thing here where Nic Cage's character looks like he's the guy who's really competent and able, but he's not.
I think it's the mustache.
But Elijah Wood's character is the one who just doesn't care, but is actually really good at what he does.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. Team Lewis.
If we whisper really quietly, the other guy won't hear our plan. That's clearly illegal.
Well, it's a stage whisper, so only the characters that are involved can hear it.
But yes, back to good music and drills.
Does it make you horny, baby? Well, I'm going to grab a screenshot of that. That looks just like a former coworker of mine. Just let him know.
Interesting beard, yeah.
Cologne, Germany.
I don't believe that this is Germany because I don't think you can smoke inside in Germany anymore.
Good question.
There's nothing more unsettling than mustache Nic Cage speaking in bad German.
Yeah. I also like that he's closing the shades there.
Right.
Bort.
Warte.
Back to cop voice.
So cool.
Again, good tone.
Mm-hmm. I like this. It's just the.
Yep.
Who gives a shit?
This is very much like a dad movie. This is a movie I can see dads watching.
Mm.
Yeah.
It's a cool setup. I like this.
Yeah.
Layouts for the destinations. I'm going to believe here that
this is just
this
Nic
is not
Cage.
scripted.
Yeah.
That he just did this mid-film.
Yeah.
Yeah, because neither of them are acknowledging it. They're just going with it. So this movie originally debuted at South by Southwest earlier last year, which, based off of like this first act of the movie, I can believe that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, no, I agree with that completely. It has the tone and type of directing and filmography that would come from a movie that would be at one of the festivals like that.
mm-hmm. Because when I saw this,
like, where is this for the second half of the movie? Like, this is like, that's funny.
Yeah. Because when I first saw this up on Netflix, I'm like, oh, I don't remember hearing about this. And these are two notable actors. Like, you can show people a picture of Elijah Wood and a picture of Nic Cage, and I don't know anyone who wouldn't know who's who.
Yeah.
Who's who?
So yeah, this movie did not get a theater release, and I'm not saying it would have made tons and tons of money, but I think it at least would have made its budget back, which budget unknown at this time because it's not listed on Wikipedia.
Right.
Da Vinci Skew.
A lot of thinking.
You know, eventually that damn guy is going to age.
Yeah.
And we'll be there when it happens, Elijah Wood. I do kind of feel bad for him because he's so tiny.
Well, Nic Cage is pretty tall.
It's such a creepy thing to say.
Right. And I thought that was chalk, so when he did that, I was real confused. But it makes more sense that way, actually.
Yeah. Imagine they use that for, like, SWAT training or something.
Oh.
Weirdo fact that I know, he's a Scientologist.
Suplee is?
Yes.
Oh, really?
That's unfortunate for him.
I don't know, that weirdo cult religion attracts a lot of Hollywood people, apparently.
Yeah.
Well, they have the money.
Yes, they
Apparently do. Yeah.
It's an interesting sign here because Pura Vida is the local saying in Costa Rica. This is a thing I learned when I was there last year.
And what does that mean?
That just means, pure life. You say that to people when you're just like leaving your meeting. It's just like, hey, happy days.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, just you say Pura Vida. Yeah, this is where tonally the movie just does a full 180 almost. Like, this is a very uncomfortable scene.
It's uncomfortable, but it's consistent with this dude's
with this
character
guy
so
for sure.
far.
Right, I agree. If I get a hankering for a cupcake, I'd probably hold people hostage too.
Just a bunch of bear claws in there. Ethan Suplee being typecast. Yep. I imagine your ankle must get sore wearing a hip or an ankle holstered gun.
Let's do our own experiments and wear them around for a while and report back.
Yeah. Sounds like you got some homework, Max.
Yeah.
He had a very effective, terrifying gaze.
Yeah.
Right now. Yeah.
Yeah, he's just a imposing guy. But yeah, upon rewatching, this scene is rather like uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think it might be because of how like defensive the women are of him.
Right.
I think it's just in general. The movie hasn't done anything remotely near this dark at all. It's been kind of like, haha, look at these
goofy cops.
Yeah.
Doofuses.
Yeah, I need you to get this trailer.
Good ass cupcakes.
There you go.
I mean, when you think about it, anytime you do get that amount of money from anything, it should just come with cupcakes. Like, if you exceed a certain amount of withdrawals at the ATM, you should get a cupcake.
Get a coupon for some free cupcakes?
No, actual cupcake.
Oh,
like a door opens up and a cupcake comes out.
So it's like when you go to the drive-thru and they have like the canister that goes through the tube.
Yeah, whomp, cupcake. Hell yeah, red velvet.
It's not a good cake or beer.
It's good cake.
It's as with many foods, it needs to be done right. But man, when it's done right, a good red velvet is tough to beat. I wonder if his mustache has ever needed to be logged for evidence for anything. Where'd you put? I mean, there are plenty of places to put the tag. An evidentiary stash.
See, this Nic Cage going through the evidence scene, the evidence thing. So I think this is how he finds the guy from the next. Yeah, this is how he finds the finds
Arms
Bobo.
dealer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like it's. I like that they included it. It was not needed at all in the movie, though.
No.
It could have just been like him waiting outside the pawn shop. Like what Nic Cage is up to.
Yeah.
Because they don't show like how Elijah Wood's like, hey, corrupt guy who likes to play fake Russian roulette, I need some money.
Right. Yeah.
All right. Drive in with Bobo.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, right here we're back to just goofy Nic Cage.
Right.
Yeah.
And again, this feels like they're like, all right, Mr. Cage, do some improv. And this was the top of his mental class here.
Yeah.
I feel like they had to shoot that guy from behind because he's just like laughing his ass off the entire time the scene's going on.
Yeah. I like how Bobo speaks for the audience at this point.
Right.
Yep.
Gonna hit him with a shoe?
Wow. They even make those anymore?
Shoes?
Yes. Do they still make shoes?
When they drive up, I thought where the rear view mirror should be in this car was someone walking down the stairs both times we watched this movie.
Oh, yeah.
Because it follows the stairs as
Path
it's
of
coming
the
down.
staircase. Man, Bobo is just all business.
Yep. So, does Bobo pack his brown paper bag full of guns every day as opposed to a brown paper bag full of lunch?
I don't know. I was really hoping to see, like, at the bottom of the frame, just scrawled in, like black ink, just dead dove, do not eat.
Yeah.
I like that he pulls out the glasses.
Yeah, the spectacles. I really like what happens. Right. And there it is.
Yeah.
What?
Right there.
Yep.
I was legitimately stunned by this.
Yeah.
Part of me thinks Cage has dad issues because his dad's like, was like grilling him about being a cop. Like I feel like his father was a cop, and he has to care for him financially because of his old age and probably medical things. But Cage goes from lazy cop to bad cop very quickly.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Immediately.
Because there's no like, oh, I'm gonna go get guns and then kill a dude.
I love this shot. I love this shot, and James, again, the music is great. Like, this is perfect.
Yeah, like watching the movie the whole time, I really wanted to actually like this movie, but it just, the beginning part of the movie is so much fun, I can't get into how dark it becomes.
Well, I think that also might be part of what it's trying to do, of like getting more, the further in you get into something,
Yeah, no, I get that too. I can understand why they would go that way. It's just not necessarily something that I want. I do appreciate that they have to put their own drill together.
Right.
Yeah. Well, usually that kind of purchase comes with a installation.
Yeah.
A person with the body frame of Elijah Wood has to get hammered off just smelling scotch.
Yeah.
This is Nic Cage in his most dad-like appearance.
Yep.
Yep.
I had a long day at the office, Janine.
Right. Where are they right now, do you think?
A garage? Or a hobby room?
Yeah. They're in someone's workshop.
Yep. This is where I feel like Cage's character and Elijah Wood's character start to like really drift. Like he was like, I'm just joking.
Yeah.
It's a joke.
Yeah. It's funny, yeah.
Eat some lemon spread. You're hungry.
And I think that some of thanks for that. I think some of that comes down to the fact that like it speaks to the two characters.
Mm-hmm.
How much more able Elijah Wood's character is and how truly inept.
Yep. As
Yeah.
yeah, like, the door opening.
That was great. That's a good shot. Riding along in the Nic Cage bus.
That's the worst bus to ever exist.
No, Dodge Caravan.
Yep.
Cage Caravan.
Cageavan?
Cageavan. And
And
is this is this the last bit of humor in this movie? Is this
So. Do you notice that his mustache is waxed in this scene also?
real? I did not notice
Yeah.
that.
just
He's preparing for the
drops it?
like he drops his gun or whatever.
Some object, his walkie, his flashlight, something.
Just drive off, Elijah Wood.
Yeah.
Just
He's
drive.
considering it.
Yeah. He's considering driving off the set and never returning.
Yeah.
Need to go back to New Zealand.
Man, I sure hope my microphone's picking up all these beer burps I have.
Well, if it picks up my voice fine, then you should be okay.
All right. Just the constant exasperation of Elijah Wood's character in this movie is totally believable.
Yep.
As someone who sighs probably as much as Elijah Wood, I can relate. Usually it's after some kind of pun from James Thorpe.
You're welcome.
Yep.
I feel like Elijah Wood's character could go door to door pretending to be like fundraising for that's a good mouth gape right there.
Yep.
Nic Cage. That was just slack jawed idiocy there. But he could convince people he's trying to raise money for schools.
Yep.
I would like to take my soccer team to somewhere fun.
He could get you to subscribe to some magazines.
Oh, certainly. Like that was just a hypothetical joke we just made. I've already written the guy a check.
Yeah.
I was half expecting Nic Cage's mustache to have like a hole. I mean, his balaclava would have a hole in it, so his mustache.
A ventilation slit.
Yeah.
You just look thirsty, bruh. Ow.
Yeah, but even this scene, like, this is where the movie takes its turn.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the fact that this is, like, it's got the steady cam following all the shots. It's a bunch of long shots, and there's no music to this.
Right, yep.
It's the lighting is very, like, it's bleak.
There's no
Nothing's
music.
in focus.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing but, like, you can hear, like, just the breathing.
Yep.
Yep.
Like, the movie stops being fun here.
Yep.
And this, I mean, the ambiguity of what did or did not happen here is, I think, a cool thing that they did. As far as why this guy ends up dead. Did he actually struggle?
I didn't even think about that.
Or was it just Nic Cage's temper?
Right.
And they don't tell us. This is the same haircut he's had in every movie for the past 6 years.
Nic Cage's hair is an inanimate object.
Right.
It just kind of sits there.
Yeah. It's like a helmet. I haven't seen it, but I feel like this has got some end of watch going on in it. Wasn't that an Antoine Fuqua movie? Cop movie?
I did never see End of
Never
Watch.
seen that one.
I heard it's good.
I did too.
Wait. How are you making observations about a movie you haven't seen yet?
I've seen trailers and highlight reels and shit.
If anything, the trailers are not descriptive of the movie at hand. Remember the trailer for Hercules?
Yeah.
I'm just going to pretend like you didn't say that. But yeah, you can get a taste for the cinematography and stuff from trailers, and I guess that's more what I'm getting at.
Okay.
She bit me, bruh.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ugly ass dude. He died.
Yep.
3213. I did appreciate that.
Yeah. I feel like that was another Nic Cage okay, on 3, and then he starts counting down as opposed to counting up, and then he's like, oh yeah, 3.
I'll never look in the bathtub.
Yeah. Out of sight, out of mind.
Mm-hmm.
No one has flip phones anymore.
True.
If
Wait,
anything,
is that
if anything, this whole this entire sequence of them getting in and establishing their little base goes on a little bit too long.
It takes a while to get going on this.
Yeah. Because you assume they get there in the morning, and it's night now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess I was never really... I mean, the whole movie... not the whole movie, but this whole act kind of takes place, I guess, over the course of one night, I guess?
Yeah. Because I think they're there on Sunday, and they need to be out by Monday morning. I do like the use of music in this, though.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the music from the radio, so
yeah,
pulls you back in.
Mm-hmm.
Adds a reason as to why there is music all of a sudden.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, you guys. I'm so sorry that I brought up End of Watch. It was directed by our very favorite David Ayer.
Oh yeah.
There's no forgiving
Yep.
Suicide Squad. Sorry.
At the time
folks.
of this recording, the Oscars have not happened yet, and that movie has been nominated for Best Hair and Makeup.
I can see that.
How? Literally how?
I mean, Killer Croc is a interesting
Okay.
aspect.
Practical
Okay.
effects.
Yep.
Yeah, practical
Practical
All right.
effects.
Though,
That's the one thing I can give it.
and you guys, and I mean, you even said multiple times that you really liked the way that the Enchantress looked.
This is true.
So-
Damn you. You've
But
diffused
here's
my
the-
anger.
Here's the thing, though. That gets a little gray because 90% of Enchantress in the movie is CG. So that shouldn't qualify for makeup and
Okay.
hair.
It's just like those.
Their
few
effects are
scenes
cool, but
when she has her first costume, before she's saved by costume,
right.
change.
And we talked about this a little bit, and this obviously isn't the Suicide Podcast, but the Joker's character design, regardless of how fucking awful it was still pretty complex. There were a lot of tattoos and stuff that had to be maintained and stuff. So it's complicated. So maybe from a technical standpoint, it's impressive, but it's not good.
Oh, the movie's terrible.
Yeah, it's all bad. It's all bad.
His hair was very green, and that's all I can give that.
And that's all I have to say about that. I thought she was going to come down on her wrist, and I was like, oh.
That's what I was waiting for.
Dude.
Yeah.
Beer update. This is very good. Thank you for choosing this, Max. Also, you got the brew bonus with the tying the theme into the movie. I like
Yep.
it.
Yep.
Again, more weird Nic Cage here with the burger.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
What? Why? Why the wheezing?
Yeah.
Frodo needs a smoko.
Yep.
Doesn't have any of the good Shire pipeweed.
Yeah.
But this is a rather interesting
talk.
scene coming up.
It was because without eliminating Bobo the way he did, this scene
Would have
be
just been-
totally different in a bad way.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, you're like, well, he's not going to shoot him. But given that scene, you're like, well, he might just shoot the guy.
Yeah.
Which is totally illegal.
Yeah.
Cliffhanger.
You need to go to jail for that.
And again, him putting the gloves on there and everything, like, it just shows you that he's just not. Nic Cage's character is just not there with all of this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. This movie has a lot of Nic Cage putting on gloves.
Yeah.
They probably didn't have the budget to give him fake abs if he ever took his shirt off. So.
Yeah.
I like how he's eating still.
Yeah.
What's not clear here, though, is whether or not they can see him pointing the gun out the damn blinds.
Yeah, I don't think he can.
Yeah.
No problem, officer. By the way, you're just goddamn adorable.
Yep.
Yeah.
I loved you in Flipper.
I mean, he just.
Go back to your car, Cliff.
Go, Cliff, go.
Oh!
Live to security. Guard another day. I feel like that's probably the only reason why Cliff lives.
Mm.
Yep. Very likely.
I thought he was going to get a shot off here. I didn't think he was going to hit anybody, but...
Yeah, shot and miss.
Mm.
And he has his mask at the ready.
Again, competency.
Yep, because if he wouldn't have been sitting there pointing the gun for no reason, he might have been able to stop that from happening too.
Yep.
Or good music.
Mm-hmm.
I summon the power of the mustache. So I guess this isn't like an actual apartment complex. It's just one...
It's an apartment above a grocery store.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
But just the one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Because this is an awful lot of racket for no one to notice.
Yeah.
True. One of those sparks is going to hit him right in the mustache, and he's done for.
Yep.
Then he'd look like real Ghost Rider.
That's his weak point.
Oh,
like a
gosh.
video game boss.
Yeah.
Yeah, the mustache.
Double damage when hitting the mustache.
Critical hit.
But it's one of those bosses that when you hit the certain area enough, like the part falls off.
Oh, right.
So you hit the mustache enough, and then the mustache falls off, and then Cage is automatically destroyed, no matter how much health he had left.
Right. Man, if I busted the belt on a $10,000 drill on the first fucking use, I would be furious.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, I don't think that's meant to be. Well, I guess it is meant to be drilling through what they're drilling through, but
Yeah.
I don't think. I'm trying to think. Like, if you're having a drill like that, you're probably not drilling through more than like an inch of material at a time. You know?
Yeah, I guess, but I mean, this is
Still.
unacceptable. Warranty issues, man.
Yep.
Yep.
Quality.
Quality control.
QA.
No. That is not on the drill. That is on the belt provider.
Right. Assuming they're different.
They are. I used to work for a company that made those kind of belts.
Oh, all right then. Well, fuck you, belt dudes. Get your shit together. Safe's got to get robbed.
Yep.
You can really tell Cage is trying. Like, that was really bad.
Yep. I like the quick cuts there between the different sequences of.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was right. That moment with leaving the van was the last bit of humor this movie had.
Yeah.
It never makes another joke.
Well, the recipe joke's kind of one.
The what joke?
That they changed the recipe.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I guess this half counts.
Yeah. I don't see that as a joke. I see that as something sensible.
All right. It's so weird.
So, yeah.
JK.
Actually, one of my favorite Elijah Wood roles is Kevin from Sin City.
Oh, yeah.
So good.
Yeah. He is good in that. Because he's creepy and young looking.
Mm-hmm. Sprightly.
I have a cunning plan. Oh,
There
gosh.
you
He's
go.
going Cage.
That's Cage 100% right there.
My idea, jump on beds until we get a better one.
Yep.
Yeah.
This just seems like a terrible idea.
Yeah.
That's pretty ingenious, though.
I don't know if ingenious is the word I would use.
It's fairly MacGyver-y.
Okay.
Getting
yeah.
some steel wool in there. There's
Oh,
some
is that
electrodes.
what that was?
Yeah.
It has to be.
And the
See,
gloves.
more gloves.
Mm-hmm. The only humor in this right now is the music is a little more whimsical
Yeah.
than the rest of the tone for the the rest of the movie.
Okay, so through all of this, what are we missing? Like, how are they going to get into the safe through a drill bit size hole?
Well, like
Well,
they
you
get to
forget
that.
what they happened?
Oh,
But-
yeah, I did. Yeah,
Yes, you did.
yeah.
And this
But I was thinking the same. I'm like, what are they drilling through?
is the third indication of Waters'
Wedding ring.
engagement
Wedding
or
ring.
marriage.
Yeah.
All right.
So she did something that either the marriage fell apart or she died.
Yeah.
And I missed that the last time.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, no, that's what I was trying to get at. Like, they haven't revealed that up to this point.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
this whole time you're watching, you're
You're
just
like,
kind of
wait.
like,
Why?
what?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Can Elijah Wood make himself even thinner?
Yeah.
I was really hoping for like a Looney Tunes outline of Nicolas Cage on the wall up here. So much noise. Again, obviously no neighbors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I don't know why there's something there. This could do with like a good music track in the background, like there was like during the bomb prep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the lack of music really adds to the whole effect.
So that's important. Like that's an important thing that just happened there, though, because they lead you on with that exact shot later in the movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, from a movie perspective, like how technically it's a fine movie.
Well
it's okay.
made.
I couldn't get into it.
Yeah, before they show you what the tiny hole is for, I'm like, are they gonna flood it and suck all the money out of the top of the water? Like, what are they going to do?
Yeah.
Because that would
Again,
work, probably.
There's a fun callback right there of how easily he unlocks the door, as opposed to Nic Cage, like...
Yeah, just mouth agape, fuddling with it for 10 years.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Okay, you ready for a colonoscopy?
Oh,
so this is the second movie in a row where there's a portable breaker into her saw.
Safecracker's friend.
Mm-hmm. The Prison Break 5000. Ba-na-na-na.
Putting it down the hole there, boss. I like this shot. I like the framing. I like this very much.
Part of me was really hoping that when they would have opened the door, there just wouldn't have been a safe in there at all, and it was
just like an empty
meat locker.
Meat locker. Yeah.
A very big meat locker.
All right, so this movie was directed by two brewers, Alex and Benjamin. I assume they're probably related.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant actual brewers. I'm like,
not
beer people
like
made
beer
this
folk.
movie? High stakes, safe cracking action.
You know, where's the hostage lady at?
In the bathroom.
In the bathroom. Yeah.
They could have at least, handcuffed her to a bidet in case she got thirsty.
Dun dun dun. Good old double deuce.
Yeah.
I'm surprised Cage didn't pull out his glasses for this.
Right.
Yeah.
I have no idea how safe cracking works. I wonder how, if at all, accurate any of this is.
Well, whenever you see in other things, there's always like someone with a stethoscope on because they want to be able to hear
Yep.
something, and I feel like that's like the catch. They want to hear the click. Now here they can't do that because of obvious reasons.
Yeah.
So
This is a good fake out in a moment here. Almost.
Yeah.
When I worked at a movie theater, up in the projection booth, that would scare the hell out of me all the time.
Oh, really?
Just the HVAC kicking in, I'd be like, "What the?" Okay.
more than that time that bulb exploded.
No, that was that.
When bulbs
threw me for a
explode,
loop.
that's a bad noise.
Yeah. Super loud. Slow down, man. You're turning like a madman.
Yeah.
More shots of eyes.
So, Nicolas Cage is a good mouth actor. Is Elijah Wood a good ocular actor? What's your
Thinking
assessment?
back to Lord of the
what's your
Rings, there
assessment
are a lot of times where Frodo's kind of like staring off into the distance and looking forlorn.
As one does when you're Elijah Wood.
Yep.
/ Frodo Baggins. Like how it was just like, I feel like it's caught.
Yeah.
What do you think, Mustache?
Yeah.
Instead of the devil on his shoulder, it's a mustache on his face.
I don't know, Nick.
Sounds like a good idea to me, Nick. Open it. Open it. Open it. Open it.
So we've seen Nic Cage's character change moment. I don't think it's as clear for Elijah Wood.
I don't know that he makes a drastic change so much as Cage does.
Yeah, I don't think.
I mean, he's still within the character that's established at the first act. He just gets to a logical point of being, no, this is too much.
Yeah,
like it makes sense to me. It's not quite as out of left field as Cage's character is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose it is more of like a logical conclusion than Nic Cage's, because throughout this entire movie it's been shown that like he just like doesn't really care about anything.
Yeah.
Hello.
And then when he's in this super white room, which this is so jarring because it's like it's so bright in comparison with how the last 20-30 minutes of this movie have been.
Yes.
That it strikes me as just like they're in a different world when they're inside of this safe.
They're in the Matrix, man. That's where the architect shows up.
We don't talk about those movies.
Hey, the first one's great.
Yes. I just like the idea that it's way bigger than what they thought it was going to be.
Mm-hmm. Oh shit, dog.
Oh my.
So they're probably holding
It's a lot of money.
It's a couple $1 million right there.
That's crazy.
Yep.
And I guess actually to circle back, as they're finding more and more diamonds in this safe right now, this just beautiful safe.
Cabinets by IKEA.
Right. Security by IKEA. So soon Elijah Wood's going to have, second thoughts about all this. And that makes sense, again, because throughout the entire movie, he is the more capable intellectually between the two. And originally, he thought they were going to find, stacks of cash. Okay, fine. We'll
or
take
drugs, which would be,
Right.
You can get rid of those.
Yeah,
right. But
you
these,
can launder those.
You can't get away from the people who have a safe like this.
No,
and that's what Elijah Wood understands.
Right, yeah.
Because we've seen two little cabinets full of diamonds, so
And they have
what's
a
in
whole
the other
room
ones?
full of them. Hoist. He could put himself in one of those things.
I know.
Yeah, you could.
Could use Elijah Wood as a unit of measurement.
It's a hobbit hauler. Hello? Who is it? I feel like her being handcuffed to a toilet is a metaphor for how Elijah Wood feels about being in this movie. I guess it's a sink.
In the bathroom.
Mm-hmm. Cool story, lady. Bye. Close.
Yeah.
I'm a little boy.
Right.
Yeah.
His farger?
Wow.
His faja?
Really?
Austin Powers Golden Member reference. So I feel like once they get into the safe, this movie just like grinds to a halt for the last 20 minutes.
Yeah. I'd agree with that.
It's a fairly uneventful kind of just curtain fall.
I was expecting her to stab him in the hand here.
Yeah, I had that thought briefly.
I guess it wouldn't really...
It wouldn't have been smart.
Yeah, because what's she going to do?
Right.
You stabbed him in the hand, you're still tied to a thing.
Right, you're still on the floor in some crusty old pee, probably.
Preparing to fast forward. $702. Is that the Las Vegas area code?
I don't know.
Oh, is that what the LVPD was? I thought that was Latvian police department.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I can see this story happening in the Eastern Bloc.
If I wanted to know the time, I would have dialed this. What is it? Star 444.
I want to know what she exactly said to
Right. Because it was obviously coded,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? Extension cord for me.
But I feel like if they had shown, it would have, I guess, kind of ruined it. Because did you guys believe her when she said that? She said she had like a kid and...
Initially, I was unsure. I was leaning towards believing her.
Yeah.
I figured from the moment, no. I mean, if you have somebody with that big of a safe like that, they probably planned everything or had contingencies in place.
Well, you didn't know anything about the girl, though.
Yeah, I mean...
She could have just been like...
And that's the story she plays off of, is
Yeah.
that she's just kind of a transient over here to get coke.
Yeah.
Which is totally possible. But, I mean, your point's still valid.
Yeah.
I think the guns is the moment where Elijah Wood's like, nope.
Yeah. I thought this was one of the most genuine bits of acting from Nicolas Cage in this movie. This little scene, actually, I thought he did well. It's when he gets kind of irritated and puts the gun on his face.
Yeah.
That I don't believe. I don't know him.
Yeah, it's a little unbelievable. I like the idea that every possible cavity in this apartment is occupied with firearms.
Yep, just guns everywhere.
Like in the toaster, just all over the place.
Push the button down and guns pop up. Please don't sing, Nic Cage.
Yeah.
Like right there. That's convincing to me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
menacing.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the silencer rubbing against his face.
Yeah, his eyes are selling it too.
He's got those cage eyes.
Mm. That's a mean thing to say.
Yeah.
You have bad luck.
Again, it's another menacing thing to say, too.
Yeah.
No.
I don't think that matters. At this
Yeah.
Right, right. How is that relevant?
Assault rifles.
Right.
Whether or not they're loaded is beside the point.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Me
Again,
neither.
speaking for the audience.
Yeah. And this guy, he's just
The-
lost it.
That's
Yeah.
not the heart of the American dream. The heart of the American dream is not to pay taxes
Hmm.
Yeah.
and to be your own boss.
Plus bacon.
That just goes without saying.
Mhm. Shut up, Beyonce.
What?
I'm crazy right now.
Ryan, your joke's a little dated.
Whatever.
Yeah, just a bit.
Beyonce's timeless.
Well, I'm not saying she's not, but if you would have made a joke that was based off the lyrics of Lemonade, that would have resonated a lot more than Crazy Right Now. Or Crazy in Love, excuse me. Uh-oh, 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 uh-oh.
Quit touching me.
Yeah. No touching.
No touching.
A lot of people going through doorways in this movie.
Hmm. Doors help enhance the drama.
No, you are not prepared at all.
No.
Describe your positivity, Mr. Cage.
I feel like this is like the shining moment of of Cage being like a genuine person, kind of.
Mhm.
He's like, surprise! I gotta take us rest to the Bahamas.
When he first started saying that, I figured that was him being like, we were going to take the money and just get out of here.
Yeah,
Right.
that's what I thought he was saying.
He's
What
just
did
talking
you
about
think he was saying?
Celebrating. I think that he is so inept that he thinks that they were going to steal all of this money,
Yeah.
go celebrate, and
Yeah.
then just come back home and still be cops.
Oh.
That's how I took it, at least.
This is a good line.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know, I guess I kind of took away that they were just gonna live in the Bahamas from this. I don't know.
Anything to declare, sir?
Shoulder shrug.
Are you carrying excessive amounts of cash on you today?
Mustache dance.
I thought that was rather clever.
Yeah.
Oh man, you guys, we're getting there. We're getting to the scene.
Yep.
The
Which
the K-drometer is building.
I first saw this scene actually on the John Oliver show on Last Week Tonight.
The lighting in this movie is interesting.
It's
very neon-y at times.
generally pretty good.
You can tell he's like angered and flustered by the red light shining on his face.
Right. The Crimson Cage.
The Crimson Cage. Nic Cage's wrestling name. Here we go.
Yeah.
Can you imagine just Nic Cage yelling at you? How like a terrifying sequence that must be.
Right. I didn't do an actual count, but what was that, 10 times?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's 10.
What is that look on his face?
I don't know. That's really weird.
Yeah.
It's like he really wants to
Head
shoot.
back, eyes front.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like he really wants to pull the trigger, but he's also terrified of his own gun. Somber piano,
Yeah.
according to subtitles.
Samiano? I expected this to be kind of like a cut to, like, after the heist had been pulled.
Right, so he's got the tray out there.
Yep.
Again, good music at this scene.
Mm-hmm. Like how he hasn't even opened all of them. He's opened maybe like 4.
Right. So much money.
And he just knows. Like that's a
That's a look of dread.
Yeah.
Yep. Just a bag of doubloons.
Yeah.
Looks like he has a Hitler stash in that little
He
scene
does
right
a little
there.
bit, yeah.
And he's just chatting away here too. Again,
Yeah.
use of him of music
Just
and
Muted audio.
muted audio.
Mhm.
Yep.
That's a cool shot.
Elijah would just collapse in the back.
Mm-hmm.
The black holes on that floor right there.
Mm-hmm. Light clatter, according to subtitles. And this is well done
Yep.
because we've already established that Elijah Wood's character is suspicious of Cage. So
Yep.
Cage asking to do these things are suspicious now.
Right. Yep. The twitch.
Yeah, I thought that was cool. And
Yeah.
he keeps that up. I think that happens in another shot soon too.
I think when you saw that he showed his face to her, you knew he wasn't going to kill her.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's also could be a signal of, you see my face, I will kill you now.
True.
Yeah.
But
So she doesn't know what
we
to
know
expect. Yeah.
As the
But
the
she
audience
doesn't.
as Elijah Wood's become like detached from this entire experience.
Right.
I think. Yeah. I took it more of that. I guess from the audience perspective, like he's so detached right now. Like he's under no pretense that he's going to be alive in the for more than like 48 hours.
Right.
Yeah. They'll go they'll find out, who Cliff talked to and blah blah blah.
Oh. That gun is loaded. Yeah,
It's a very shiny gun.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's straight up chrome, dog.
Now she must be thinking that like, oh, they've had a
falling out.
falling out, and they're squabbling over the money or whatever.
Right.
Yep.
Not knowing that he just wants to, just not die.
Yep.
Man, who has that much money and still owns a...
Protect your neck.
Yeah. You've been waiting the whole time to say that.
I have. I think that's like number 4.
Yeah.
4th time I made that joke.
That sounds right.
Yeah, it's probably.
I'd agree with that tally.
It's part of the in-process GBBV drinking game for those of you playing at home.
Right.
Number 1 being Ryan says he saw a movie in theaters and was disappointed by it.
Right.
Number 2 being Max quotes the Wu-Tang Clan. Number 3 being James makes a pun so bad that both me and Ryan groaned.
Right. And share looks of mutual distaste.
But they don't get to see that.
Yeah.
They can sense it with their ears, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. Yeah. The palpable silence.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
As opposed to our regular silences of dead air.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
As we're enraptured in the movies like we were just there.
Yeah.
Well, it's a good. I mean, it's a good.
It's tense right
good
now.
Bit of
Yep.
tension right there. Yeah. They're he's looking around the corner. He's been sitting there,
Right.
continually peeking over and over and over again.
It's tense because there's the twitch again back at his cheek.
Yeah.
That's a good shot.
Yeah, it's a great shot. The reflection on the
oven.
But it's tense because I truly don't know what was going to happen here. Like I really didn't know.
Yeah.
And this is what I was mentioning before after the explosion to crack the last bit of the safe. When he's lying there playing possum, it's in this exact same position.
Yep.
He played dead. And I really expected Cage to just shoot him.
Yep.
Here.
Yeah.
Right
Well, I think
about,
he caught another bullet, it looks like.
yeah, right about now.
Yep. I expected him to just pull up and
Right.
shoot him. Same.
Because it's shot the same way as before.
Yep.
And then this is the reveal. We're like, no, he actually had the 2 fucking tickets.
Yep.
Well, I believed him when he said I have 2 tickets.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I believed on that. Like I said, I just believed that he was so inept that he thought they were like, we're going to celebrate and go on vacation that we pulled
Yep.
this big heist.
That'll show Jerry Lewis.
Yeah.
Bum 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 bum.
He's just
I
carefully
just got
putting
Charlie
all-
Brown theme as he's walking out of that kitchen.
as done perfectly by Arrested Development. Yeah, but so he's putting all the diamonds back because he don't want shit to do with none of this.
Nope.
And that's a tough call. Like, I mean, at this point, I don't know what I would have done. Because you've been so into this
I mean, you think they're just going to be like,
stronghold that just knowing about it is already enough reason to get killed. So why not try to keep the money, I guess? I don't
right?
know.
Yeah.
This scene where he just breaks down like this
Yeah.
too is so
Yeah.
awful, and how stark he is against the rest of
Right.
the safe too.
And you can't help but wonder if it. I mean, it's clearly not just the heist gone wrong that's getting to him, but I mean, to me, his whole character throughout this movie is just like he doesn't give a shit about anything. He's nothing right now.
Yeah,
Yeah, he is his most congenial, I guess. Like loading this woman into the van.
Yep,
and then the door.
holding her in esteem higher than he holds himself.
Yep. And the driving away, the sun's coming up and everything.
Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. Hell yeah, it has. Holy
Yeah.
Christ. A 90-minute movie?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Good shot there again
Yep.
too with the
Subtle.
rear view mirror.
I thought like I was turning a crank on the post there for a second.
Yeah.
Like, did you have crank-powered lights?
This captures the roads outside of Vegas perfectly too. I mean, it is just there's
just
like nothing.
desolate.
It's nothing. Vegas is in
Two-lane
the middle
highway.
of nowhere.
Nevada as a state is mostly federally owned land.
Much of the West is.
That's Weston. I'm talking about my dick. This is a pretty terrifying reveal.
Yeah.
Yep.
I also kind of like that none of the other drivers are shown.
Yes. It's just
I thought it said mob electricians at first.
Appropriate.
this huge force.
Right. And then the number matches
Yeah.
the one she called.
Yep. And again, that shows how smart he is. He actually wrote the phone number that she called down just to keep track of it.
Well, he didn't want her to dial 911.
Right.
Right.
That was not going to do anything.
No. And this right here too.
This is such a high stakes.
I didn't expect this to happen. I figured they'd just have her drive into like the desert or something like that.
Yeah, into like a ditch or something.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, them not showing the drivers even too. There are very, very, very few characters in this movie, actually.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think it benefits from it.
Yeah.
Mhm. Or the characters that are in it are in for a scene.
Yes.
Like Jerry Lewis.
Jerry Lewis or the corrupt
Supley.
detect. Yep. So.
I guess I'm kind of at a loss for how they got found, though. Do you think they were probably just staked out at the apartment until
Yeah.
daybreak?
Yeah, because she called them like, you know,
middle of the
night or whatever.
Yep.
And they probably just had someone watching.
That was cool.
I
that
like
was
this
cool.
love the
transition.
transition.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I do like the music here, but
Yeah, like going back to the beginning, like I like that, but after the last 40 minutes,
Yeah,
it's
this
sort
is
of like
tonally out of place.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
They could have made a better soundtrack choice that was still very good and pertinent.
Oh no,
Yeah.
I love that they went back to the theme the movie opened up with.
Right. I agree.
Like this last scene, I think is great.
Mm-hmm.
See, and I don't, because we're not back to that point at all.
Yeah,
We as the audience didn't come around.
Yeah, it's kind of a point of no return situation.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. I do think it's weird that they reassembled the drill to store it.
Yeah. Instead of just leaving it
As opposed
like in a
to
box
just-
with all of its
Oh,
parts.
they
opposed to
did.
just
Yeah, they
having the
did
bags.
take it apart.
Putting
Yeah.
the bags together.
Probably for this shot.
Yeah, I mean, it's for
Right.
the shot, but I thought when they did that, I was like, that seems kind of a weird thing. Because,
Yeah.
like, all of the drill wasn't put back together. The movie didn't end back where it began.
Yeah,
You know, if it would have happened to something where, like, they actually didn't pull off the heist,
yeah,
but Elijah Wood manages to get away
yeah.
and just happens to come back and make some kind of deal, and it goes back to that music, and it's just him going back to clearly hating his life.
Yeah.
I'd be totally cool with them using that music again.
Yeah. Well,
Yep. Well, that is The Trust.
that
So
was The Trust.
interesting movie that did not go the way that we expected.
No.
But-
Certainly.
For as for all the problems this movie has, from the varying tone and the characters not really meshing well as the movie went on, because feel like they were kind of in different movies at times. Wonderfully shot
Mm-hmm.
and superb music.
Yeah.
When it's
Yep.
used, because it's to the point that when there's no music, it feels like the movie's lacking in something.
Right.
Yes. Yep.
So view again, brew again, Ryan.
Let's start Brew again. Yeah, I like this a lot. This is very good. Max, thank you for bringing this. And once again, this is an Imperial Star.
This is
Plead the Fifth
by
Dark Horse.
Dark Horse, yeah. 20 years this year, apparently. So
Really?
happy anniversary, Dark
Happy
Horse.
anniversary, Dark Horse.
Yay.
Yeah, I like this very much. I would absolutely drink this again, and probably will, outside of this podcast to a great extent. View again. I would watch this again. I, at this point, have seen this movie 2.5 times in the last 8 days. And I liked it better on subsequent viewings. I still don't like it a lot, but I kind of like it more than I don't. I'm at like 57% liking it versus 43% not.
Okay.
So yeah, not as frustrated as I've been with other ones. There's some redeeming qualities here. Again, at the opening act of the movie, some genuinely funny parts, like stuff that made me really laugh that I wasn't expecting, and a lot of tension later on generated from genuinely not knowing how the characters were going to react and how things were going to unfold. And that's from the sheer volume of movies that I watch. That's something I rarely get.
Okay, James.
Yeah, I'd brew again also. This hits right into my wheelhouse of things I like. Mm-hmm. So I'm down with this beer. View again, I don't know if I really have any interest in seeing this again.
Mm-hmm.
I'd maybe watch the first couple minutes for it again, because, I mean, they're just, like Ryan said, there are some genuinely funny parts. When the guy jumps out of the window in the back of the scene and breaks the window of the car, and the chief is just like, what is going on? Like that really made me laugh a lot when I first watched it. I thought that was great. And then, because I guess from that scene, the purpose that hit in my mind is I thought that was Elijah Wood like jumping out the window because he didn't let him feel anything. so like,
right, I like that.
That even made me laugh even more. But it gets so dark and grinds to such a halt that I don't know if I'd sit down and be like, I'm gonna watch this movie. There's a lot of other stuff that I'd put on before this that kind of fit into that genre. You talked about the whole Ocean's 11 vibe. Mm-hmm. Like, I actually really do enjoy the original Ocean's, or the remake of Ocean's 11.
The George Clooney Ocean's 11, not the Frank Sinatra.
And that's something that if I was looking for the tone and humor that happens in the very beginning of this movie, I'd watch that
because it's consistent throughout.
Because it's consistent throughout.
Right.
Yeah, the tonal shift in this movie really does kind of push me away.
Right.
Yeah, that was something I noticed upon first viewing, and definitely subsequent viewings where it's coming, and you can kind of pinpoint where it happens.
Yeah,
and it must be kind of difficult. We talked a little bit about the trailer to put together a trailer for a movie that does have such a huge shift in tone.
Oh yeah,
right. I mean, how do you sell that in a way that doesn't just confuse people?
Yeah. I mean, thinking back about this trailer, I haven't watched it since a while ago, but the only like dark moments of this, I believe, are the Nic Cage open it. Like, after they've established there's a safe, trying to get into it. It's in a thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, there might be a shot of them like going into the safe and Cage going to open it, but other than that, most of it is Act 1 when it's like, whimsical safe heist.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's very much a heist movie as opposed to like the dark thriller it becomes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Mm-hmm. So, for me, I guess I kind of like, I would put this in the category of the Saturday afternoon TNTs, where if it's on TV, which I know it's not going to be because it's a video on demand, and it like I would sit down and maybe watch it just to kind of look at it, or have it on in the background maybe, or at least in the first act have it on in the background. But I'm not gonna like, hey, let's watch this Nic Cage movie. There are better Nic Cages, there are worse Nic Cages that I would more willingly watch.
True and true.
Yep.
So, but I think from a film perspective, is like seeing how different methods of film or how movies are made from either like how music is used, lighting, camera angles, stuff like that. I think it's a good film for that kind of stuff. There's a lot of it. Technically, this movie is great.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't need a lot. I mean, like, special effects wise, there's like some flash from an explosion or whatever. That's about it.
Yep.
So, and that point, and it's good. And some of those ways that it's shot, it makes it very high tension. Like that very last scene of Elijah Wood dead against the steering wheel, and the camera being inside the car while the girl is getting free and getting to the front. That's a very high tension, high stakes moment.
Shot.
Yeah, great scene. But I can't say I'm not going to come back to this as much as I come back to Fargo, one of my favorite movies, which I kind of put this in that genre, sort of. As far as the beer, I love me some stouts. I love me some Imperial stouts. If anything, I wish it was a little drier, but it's a stout, not a porter, so that's what you got to deal with. But definitely, I would have this one again. So that wraps up another episode of Good Brews, Bad Views. Thank you for listening in. As always, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, subscribe to us on iTunes. We fixed the whole track by unknown issue, hopefully. And we'll see you guys next time.
And YouTube.
Yep. Oh, yeah, and YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Later.
All right. Take care.
Bye.